Hello and welcome to day 2 of my 12-day challenge. I am going to try to channel every day for trying to get at least 30 minutes and for 12 days straight. And this is a new thing for me. I've never done it before, so go easy on me. So I'm calling in my guides. Jason, we are here. We are the Lathorians. We have talked to you many times before. You are us and we are you. And you are from our planet. And you have been sent here onto this planet to experience many, many things, as many of you listening have also. On our planet, things are a bit different from your planet. We don't have complete free will. Our free will is, we would say, maybe 50%. We can make about 50% of our own choices. There are many of you who are listening at this moment who are also part Lathorian. And you have also been sent into this free will area, this free will zone, in order to experience what it's like and to learn many, many lessons. We're back, and the reason that we came in today was we wanted to share the message of love that is present throughout the universe, of universal love, love for everything. And that is what everything is built on. That is the hidden link, the missing link. Once you understand that, you understand the whole universe. The channel that you see sitting before you, he, as we said, is one of us. And he was sent here. Sent here actually for a very, very important reason. He was sent to 2 different worlds. See, your planet is such a free will zone. There's so much going on. It's such an amazing place. And for us here watching from space, it's the most interesting show on the planet. We don't need Netflix. We don't need any of these. That's nothing compared to what's going on your planet. And your channel in front of you was sent to 2 different places. He was sent to America, and then he was sent to Japan. When we say sent, we sent him. In his life, he didn't feel like he was sent here. He just ended up here. Here meaning Japan. But what we'd like you to understand is there are places on this planet that are so completely and utterly different. See, Japan is a place where free will is... There isn't as much free will as there is, maybe, for example, in America. Now, of course, there is free will, but the illusion of a lack of free will has been trained into the society. And what people give up in the free will, they gain in peace. So Japan is a country of peace, very, very, very peaceful. But of course there is a price to pay for that peace, especially on a third-dimensional world where you have yin and yang. You have to give up something to get something. That's the crazy world that we live in. Whereas in America, there's more freedom. Well, at this moment in time, you might not think that it's freedom, but it is. There is an innate freedom that is built into the country. And because of that freedom, everyone is free. But at the same time, there is a lot of conflict. There isn't the same peace that you would experience in a place like Japan. But both of these are very, very important parts of this 3-dimensional world right now. And there's so much to learn in both places. You see, many of you have come from other planets. And on those other planets, there wasn't the free will that you have here. But to experience now as a human in a free will zone, to be able to choose between 2 different places and experience the 2 different places is an amazing learning experience, so that you can integrate the two different sides, the two different styles of complete and utter freedom with lots of conflict, and then a lack of freedom but complete and utter peace. Now, of course, these are just two different sides. It's kind of like a yin and yang. But the most important thing, for example, for our channel here was to bring those two together, to be able to integrate both of them into his body, into his soul, into his spirit, and then to be able to teach them. And by teaching, we don't mean telling people of anything, but by teaching, as all of you are teaching, by being who you are, you teach. By just being you. That's how you teach. Once you experience something, once you know something so deeply, then you don't have to talk about it. It's not about words, it's about understanding. And so that is what we wanted to talk about today. And a lot of you are in different places. Even in America, there are different levels of perceived free will. Sorry, I've lost my concentration again. It's my second time. All right. Yes, so we're back. We are the Lathorians, and yes, so even in your countries, even in, for example, in Europe or even in America, there are different levels of this experience of free will and lack of free will, of peace and of conflict. So a lot of you are experiencing these things. You find yourself living in different cities. You maybe grew up in one place, and then now you live in a different place. And there's a reason for that. That you are sent there. That is part of your destiny, to understand and to try to integrate both the two different worlds. Now, the channel that you see in front of you is a more extreme case. He has spent half of his life in one place and half of his life in the other place. And as such, he doesn't belong to either. He belongs to both. But it took a long time for the channel to realize this. And that's something that you should realize too, that you don't belong to one or the other, you belong to both. And you also belong to other places. You may find yourself in a different place, and you'll be able to integrate that place. This idea also relates to your everyday lives too. For example, you are in your home, and then you go somewhere else to work, or sometimes you may go outside to eat somewhere, or you may go outside to a park somewhere, and you feel kind of drawn to these places. Sometimes you feel like you don't really have a choice. You just end up, I don't know how I got there, but here I am at this restaurant every day, or this bookstore, or this mall, or wherever it is that you go. There's a reason for that. And you're being sent there to integrate these different places, to be able to understand the differences between these two different places. Sorry, I've lost my concentration again. There's a lot of noise around here, and I guess I'm not as concentrated as I'd like to be. We are back. We are the Hathors. Not the Lathors, we are the Hathors. But there's many, many similarities between us. Yes, but we'd like to continue where they left off. But from a different perspective. Now, up until now, you've been hearing the story about you are living in different places, and you have to integrate the two different places, and that you belong to both of those places, and that's what you are meant to understand. And we'd like to take this to another level. That not only are you from different places on this planet, but you are from different planets. And your channel here, of course, is not just from the Lathors. That is one perspective, yes, but he is a Lathorian, but he is also a Hathorian too, as well as a few other different planets. And what you're doing as well is integrating those different planets into yourself. You see, we live in a world of experiences. And the reason that you're experiencing these experiences is to transmute them and to integrate them into one. Because they are all one, and you are one, and we are one, and we are all one, and you are built on one. And that's where we're going to. We're going back to one, from many to one. We are all one. And this is your, we might say, life work on this planet. Of course, you have jobs, you have everyday things that you have to do. I mean, you're living in a 3D dimension, of course. You need to eat, you need to survive, you need to be careful of danger, you need to work, you need to get money. These, of course, are all things. But behind all of this, there is something deeper, and that is integrating. So, for example, now, in your jobs, you may go to your job and you may feel like your job is not fulfilling to you somehow. It's not working, it's not making you happy. Maybe your coworkers and you are not getting along, or maybe there's someone who you feel is attacking you, or you are a victim somehow. But know that this is a lesson for you, and it was built into your life by you and for you to integrate, to understand. So next time you find someone, for example, at your job, if you find someone who you don't get along with, or you just feel so much anger with, or you just fight with, or you feel like they're bullying you, try to understand where they're coming from. Love them, because they are you, and they are showing you. They are a mirror for something that's happening inside of you. And understand that those people may not want to be, well, not that they don't want to be. They chose to be the mirror for you. But you have to understand how hard it is to be a mirror. Because they have to mirror some of the darkness that's inside of you. And for being like you, for being like me, for all of us, that we're made of love, that is very difficult to act out a role that isn't love. It is very hard, and it's painful, and it hurts, and it can cause disease. And so we would suggest forgiving and trying to understand that person. And you'll be amazed at what happens once you truly understand and see them for who they are, and see them as a projection of something inside of you. Then they can let go, and you can let go. See, that's just one example of the places where you can transmute. It's everywhere you go. Your emotions, your feelings, your anger, all of these things are just lessons. These are part of the lessons of this 3D plane, this amazing, amazing, amazing drama that's playing out in front of you every single day. I'm going to try to call in the Lathorians again. We are the Lathorians, and we're back. Yes, what the Hathorians said was true, and it was something that we hadn't realized yet. That your channel, and that many of you are not just from one planet, but from different planets. And that they're integrating, for example, even our planet. What an amazing idea. Maybe we should tell you a little bit about our planet. On our planet, the Lathorian planet, however you might call it. We call it something different in our language, but Lathorian is the closest. We could attempt to pronounce it for you if you'd like. Is the closest we could get to it. Now on our planet is a planet of blue, just like your planet. There are beautiful, beautiful oceans and beautiful land. But as we said, it's a planet of blue. Everything has a bluish tint to it. For example, on your planet, everything has a greenish tint. You have the blue of the sky, and the green of the grass and of the trees. But our oceans are blue, and our vegetation is blue. Our bodies, our heads are a bit elongated. We are blue. We are taller than your typical human, about 8 feet or more. Our gravity is different, so we don't have the same amount of muscles that you do. You would say that we float as we move. We don't feel like it as floating, but if you see us, we would seem to be floating. Yes, we are also aquatic as well. We can live under the ocean or on the land. And finally, the one important thing. There's a reason why we would send our people to a 3D planet like yours. This is not many people can get the chance to be here on the planet, especially at this time. And not many people want to. It's a very, very difficult place to be in at this moment. Choppy waters. Difficult place to surf. But the reason that we send is because we also have difficulties on our planet. There are things that are not integrated on our planet. Maybe a lot of you have heard of this before, but there are situations where we have a lack of free will. And because of our lack of free will, we have amazing peace. So, for example, the peace that people would feel in Japan, in a lot of Asian countries, is similar, but times 1,000. Absolute and utter peace. But on the flip side of this, the freedom is not there. So if any of us kind of go off the path somehow, we are, the word for it would be taken out. So there is no freedom of thought. There is a small realm of freedom of thought, but once we go around that or past that, we cease to exist on our planet, basically. There are programs, there are institutions that are set up so that we can't go out of the lines. And this, we chose this, of course, and it is a good thing for the most part, but we have been learning and we have been finding that we are growing more and more unhappy with this situation. The peace is there, but there's a growing unhappiness with this whole situation, and we need to change, but we don't know how to change. And so that is why we sent many of you to this planet, to understand, to be able to experience absolute free will zones, and in zones where there is not as much free will. This way we can integrate both of them, and then whatever our channel is learning now, he is uploading this to our mass consciousness, and so we understand it. So we ourselves are growing more and more to understand how to open ourselves up to a little bit more free will on our planet, and how to balance this. So this is what's happening in your universe at this moment, and it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Blessings be to you. Well, thank you very much, guys, for listening. Yep. Bear with me. This is the second day of about 12 days of channeling, where I'm trying to channel for longer and longer, and as you notice, I don't have the concentration that I would like to have, and that's why I'm doing this every day. I hope that you get something good out of this. I hope that you learn something, and if you don't resonate with it, that's great, that's fine, you don't have to. And if you do, that's wonderful. Cheers.